salute you. The other thing the Father wants for his children is to make good choices. You've done well. Austin, the day I met you, I knew you were a good man. And everything I've learned since makes me more in awe of who you are. I am so pleased to be part of your family. Austin, I salute you.
So I met Cassie in Iowa City through our mutual friend, Christy. The first time I saw her, she didn't know who I was. Oh man, this is crazy. And we didn't meet each other that first night. We'd never said a word to each other. I think the only thing that really happened was I asked Christy who that girl was. And I got her name, added her on Facebook, asked Christy to bring her along to go bowling the following weekend. And we went bowling. I taught her how to bowl for the first time. And then I think that night I knew there was something special. Because we were just like really connected. We laughed. I drove her home, filled up her gas tank, and I drove her home through a snowstorm. So it took us an hour long from Cedar Rapids to Iowa City, and that gave us a lot of time to be able to talk about a lot of things. And obviously the first time that you actually talk, you don't talk about religion, you don't talk about what you want in your life, you just don't talk about that kind of stuff. And we talked about all of it, and we agreed about everything. And I think that was the day where I was just like, I want to be with this girl for the rest of my life. And that was just the first time that we ever did anything together, actually talked to each other. We were moving to Decorah for me to go back to college to finish up my school, and I had an event set up with family and friends and just said it's a going away party. And then I was just, obviously that was a cover up for me asking her to marry me. And we went to Lake McBride, the first place we ever went on our first date. And the spot was actually taken by people that were fishing at the time, and they weren't willing to move. So we actually just had to just wing it. We found a different bench. It was interesting because we had like over 50 people there, and they were just following us around instead of just like staying where they are. So they're following us around, and everything that could go wrong went wrong. But it was okay because I found a bench, went down to the bench and talked, and we probably talked for about 20-25 minutes, and I was trying to make it seem like I was not going to propose to her, and it definitely worked. I was telling her how I felt bad that I couldn't afford a ring. The ring was provided by my parents. It was their proposal ring that they used, and at the end of it, I'm pretty sure she gave me a hug, and then because she felt bad that I was feeling so bad, and then I just got down on one knee and asked her to marry me, and she said yes, obviously, and that was the best day of my life.
That's the thing. I mean, you'd be all right.
Well, here's your jacket then. Yep. Now your jacket looks like perfect for you. A little short in the arms.
Hold on. Right here. Look at those little T-Rex arms you got.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so. Did Cass make a list?
We're not going.
This
is how I chat.
I know. He's doing the point and talk. I like that. He's got it down. Yo, the Super Bowl.
So we met through a mutual friend, Christy Wang, who's also in our wedding. We were supposed to be, I'm gonna cry. We were supposed to be roommates first before we met each other. But we had a house party, Christy and I, at the house that we lived at, and Austin came. I hadn't met him that night, but he saw me. And then we went out bowling with a big group, and so we met each other then, and I think I bowled a couple strikes, and he taught me how to bowl, and we hugged. Actually, it was the first night that I met him that I knew that he was the one, because there was a snowstorm, and he drove me back home, and so we had a long car ride together. It was like an hour and a half, and we talked about all the big things: religion, marriage, kids. I mean, the things that you never talk about on the first date, even the first year, but we just really got to know each other, and I knew that he was the one. How he proposed to me, we were going to be moving to Decorah for him to finish school at Luther, and so we were having a going away party, and we invited all of our close friends and family that could make it to Lake McBride, which was our first date spot. So we went to Lake McBride, had a cookout, and all of our close people were there, and he tried to take me down to the bench where we first had our first date, but people were sitting there, so we had to go in a little bit different spot, but he popped the question, and it was all over from there. And then we walked up the hill, and everyone was taking pictures, and it was awesome.
You know how mad
Keep going. Keep going.
No way.
I'll get this. You're gonna push this one.
Hard.
Definitely stand out.
Ah.
Okay.
Yeah.